Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I am Dr. Ahmed Noman from Attack campus of University of Education, and in our today's lecture of analytical chemistry we are going to discuss about Gaussian distribution, which is also known as normal distribution. So what is the Gaussian distribution or normal distribution? Normal or distribution or Gaussian distribution, actually it is a probability function कि जो हमें ये बताता है कि if there are many values of a variable, so how they are distributed. So if you are determining or studying a large population, so how they are actually, what is their frequency or how they are distributed. It is the most common and most useful statistical continuous distribution. In normal distribution, mostly we have the symmetrical probability distribution, where most of the results are located in the middle as shows in the diagram, and few are spread on the both sides. And we say that it is the most important probability distribution because it can fit many natural phenomena as well. For example, जब आप बात करते हैं heights की, the height of people, if you draw heights of like 5,000 people, so you will get a distribution curve like this. Similarly, if you are drawing a distribution curve or the graph for blood pressure of different people, so similarly we have that kind of a graph and that kind of a curve. If you draw a graph for measurement error, you are drawing some IQ scores of some different random people, so mostly you get a diagram of like this and you get a distribution like this. So that's why it's considered the most important statistical distribution. Also, as you can see, it is somehow similar with a bell shape when you see this curve. So it is also sometimes known as the bell curve. So we can call it normal distribution, we can call it Gaussian distribution, and we can also call it a bell curve. And we can describe it by its mean and the standard deviation, and we will see those in our coming slides. So the normal distribution is actually can be found in many areas of our life. We can see it in nature, in engineering and industrial processes, in different social things, and also in human sciences. So that's why, as I already said, that it is known to be the most important distribution. And many everyday data sets in different fields and different fields of life, they actually follow the same normal frequency or same normal distribution. You can see a normal curve on the bottom of the slide. So this is how a normal distribution curve looks like. So that shows that for a given sample or for given set population, so when we draw those on a graph, so mostly we get a symmetric curve which is unimodal bell shape. So we already studied about unimodal, bimodal, trimodal. So in case of normal curve, we get a unimodal shape or unimodal graph. And आप देख सकते हैं कि यहाँ पे जो सेंट्रल पार्ट है जो कर्व का है, तो इट शोज़ के व्हेन यू आर सैम्पलिंग और यू आर एनालाइजिंग सम और यू आर collecting some data about some specific population or thing, so जो मोस्टली जो डाटा होगा that will lie in the center. So most the frequency जो होगी वो ज़्यादा होगी सेंटर के अंदर, एंड जो साइड्स हैं उस पर कम होगी. फॉर एग्जांपल, आप अगर हाइट मेजर कर रहे हैं जो है डिफरेंट, फॉर एग्जांपल स्टूडेंट्स, सो मोस्टली जो है जो सेंट्रल पार्ट जो होगा वो तो मोस्टली हाइट जो है वो सेंट्रल एरिया में लाई करेंगी. और जो उनकी फ्रीक्वेंसी होगी वो ज़्यादा होगी और जो साइड पे जो है वो कम होगी. सो दिस इज़ अ जनरल एक्चुअली ट्रेंड. सो जब इसका मीन लेंगे सो द वैल्यू विल बी क्लोजर एक्चुअली. सो नाउ इट डिपेंड्स कि आपकी जो कर्व है वो किस तरह की आ रही है. इफ़ कर्व इज़ वेरी शार्प it means that the standard deviation or the difference between the values is very small, and if you have a very broad normal curve it means the standard deviation is large. So large value of standard deviation mean that there is a huge difference or there is the difference between the individual values are significant. सो जब आप कोई भी ग्राफ देखते हैं इस तरह का जिसके अंदर आप ये देखें कि वो बहुत शार्प सी पीक है, तो इसका मतलब ये है कि जो अगर नॉर्मल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन जो कर्व है तो जो जितनी जो आपने वैल्यू उसमें मेजर की हैं तो उनके अंदर जो डिफरेंस है वो कम है. लेकिन अगर जो पीक है वो ब्रॉड होगी तो इसका मतलब ये होगा कि देयर इज़ अ लार्ज डिफरेंस बिटवीन द इंडिविजुअल वैल्यूज़. एंड नॉर्मली इट इज़ एस्टिमेटेड कि जो जो ब्रॉडनेस ऑफ द पीक है जब इसको कोरिलेट किया जाता है स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन के साथ, सो इट इज़ एस्टिमेटेड दैट जो स्प्रेड ऑफ द कर्व है इट इज़ इक्वलेंट टू 6 टाइम द स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन के इट हैज़ डायरेक्ट लिंक विद दैट स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन. So higher the standard deviation, the broader will be the curve. When we are using Gaussian distribution or normal distribution, so it actually help us calculating the probabilities for population. For example, जब आप एक histogram for example आप draw करते हैं एंड आप उसके अंदर नॉर्मल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन कर्व ड्रा करते हैं, सो ऑल ऑफ द पॉपुलेशन जो है दैट विल लाई अंडर द कर्व. सो वी call it that the probability of the population is 100% inside the curve, so all of those population will be in there. So by examining the curves at different positions, so we can determine the probability. So कैसे होगा फॉर आपको I will try to explain you in simple words. कि फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल आपने हाइट मेजर की है डिफरेंट स्टूडेंट की, फॉर एग्जांपल 1000 स्टूडेंट्स की, और आपके पास जब वो कर्व आ गई है वो इस तरह की आ रही है. जो हाइट है जहाँ पे सबसे ज़्यादा जो सेंट्रल पार्ट है फॉर एग्जांपल ये है 180 सेंटीमीटर, और जो सबसे जो लोअर है ये है तकरीबन 150 सेंटीमीटर. सो जितने भी स्टूडेंट है जो 1000 हमने एनालाइज किए हैं, सो उनकी हाइट जो है 150 से 180 सेंटीमीटर के दरमियान है. अब अगर हम ये देखना चाहते हैं कि कितने परसेंट स्टूडेंट हैं जिनकी हाइट 160 सेंटीमीटर से लो है, सो वी कैन जो है जब हम इसको अगर ग्राफिकल बार ग्राफ जिसको हिस्टोग्राम का कहते हैं उस तरह से ड्रॉ करेंगे, सो वी कैन कंपेयर. फॉर एग्जांपल यहाँ पे ये एरो है जो कट कर रहा है इसको कर्व को यहाँ पे. सो अगर जितने भी 150 टू 160 है वो इसमें लाई करते हैं, तो हम इसको कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं कि कितने परसेंट स्टूडेंट हैं जिनकी हाइट 160 सेंटीमीटर से कम है. सो वी कैन गेट द एक्चुअल प्रोबेबिलिटी फ्रॉम दिस. इसी तरह अगर हम एक स्पेसिफिक सेट है, फॉर एग्जांपल इफ़ वी वांट टू नो के 165 टू 170 सेंटीमीटर हाइट जो है वो कितनी प्रोबेबिलिटी है, सो वो भी हम इस ग्राफ से जो है वो डिटरमिन कर सकते हैं. सो दिस इज़ हाउ एक्चुअली वी get information from the normal distribution curve or Gaussian distribution curve. So we can get a rough estimate or an idea of a probability of a specific value from using these normal distribution curves or the Gaussian distribution curves. Take a practical example to illustrate what we have discussed in the previous slide. So this is a normal distribution curve, so which is showing the particle size of some specific metal oxide nanoparticles. So on the left side you can see it's the frequency of distribution, and its frequency of those their sizes, and on x-axis you can see the particle size. So you can see the particle size is from around between 150 nanometer to 1000 nanometer. So when we this called the type of graph, we call it as a histogram. And you can see that bell shaped curve, that this graph actually follows the normal distribution curve. So if actually if you can see the table below, so you say the n is 230, which means the total sample actually we measured are 230. The mean particle size of all the sample is 529. The lowest particle size was 175, and the maximum particle size is around 956, and the median also we have studied is around 527. So all this is the information we got from this normal distribution curve. Now if you want to know that how many particles actually lie between 400 to 700 nanometer, so here you can see the central from the graph, you can see from 400 to 700. So you can calculate these. So for example, the largest one, the center one, it's around like 50%, 55% frequency, and by actually manually we can calculate and we can estimate that how many particles lie. As we can see even from this graph, that majority of the particles actually lie between 300 to 700 nanometer, and by this way we can actually estimate that from our estimate from our data that what size or what parameters, whatever we are studying, so we can estimate their frequency, that where our data actually lies. So this is how we actually use normal distribution curve in our mostly in labs or in chemistry. The Gaussian distribution curve is symmetrical, so it means that if you draw a line in the center of the curve, so 50% of the values will lie on the right side, and 50% of the data or our values will lie on the left side of the curve. So and there will be 50% probability that those data will lie on the right side from the center, and 50% probability that it will lie from the on the left side from the mean value. So now let's discuss about some empirical rules which are generally accepted worldwide. It is a generally accepted rule that 68% of all the data in the normal distribution curve actually it lies within one standard deviation from the mean. So as you can see in the diagram, that we can see that is the normal distribution curve. On x-axis you have mu, which is equal to mean, and then we have 1 2 3 and -1 -2 and minus, which is positive standard deviation in plus and in negative. So between when you have a standard deviation from the mean value, and from at between -1 to +1 standard deviation, the 68.2% of all the data will lie in this. It is actually universal phenomenon. Mostly in normal distribution we get these kind of numbers. एंड जो सेकंड है, अगर आपकी जो मीन से अगर आप जाते हैं +-2 स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन, सो अराउंड 95.4% जो डाटा होगा वो इसके अंदर लाई करेगा, एंड रिमेनिंग जो है वो अगर आप इसको जाते हैं 3 स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन पे +-, तो अराउंड मोस्ट ऑफ द डाटा जो होता है 99.7 इन मोस्ट केसेस वो जो डाटा है ऑल वो इसके अंदर रिजाइड करेगा, और ओनली 0.3% जो वैल्यूज़ होंगी वो इससे बाहर होंगी, जिनमें जो स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन 3 से ज़्यादा होगी. सो अगर आप देखें इसके अंदर, तो जो आपका सेंट्रल पार्ट है which is the between -1 to plus standard deviation, so it has the most actually it contains the most data or most values inside. और नॉर्मली जब आप ब्लड प्रेशर अगर आप लोगों के मेजर कर रहे हैं, आप लोगों की हाइट मेजर कर रहे हैं और आप लैब के अंदर कोई पैरामीटर है उसको स्टडी कर रहे हैं, तो जब आप उनको ड्रा करते हैं और आप उनकी रेशो निकालते हैं फ्रॉम के कितने मीन वैल्यू से जब उनकी डिफरेंस देखते हैं और स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन कैलकुलेट करते हैं, तो यू फाइंड कि मोस्टली जो है अराउंड 70% विच इज़ लाइक 68% जो डाटा होता है वो जो है वो सेंट्रल पार्ट में लाई करता है और विद इन +-1 standard deviation from the mean. So these are the general actually phenomena which have been observed in the normal distribution curve. Let's apply it and see an example. अगर suppose कि आप that we are measuring the height of different people and we are drawing a normal distribution curve. So the mean height for example here as you can see in the diagram जो है वो एक 178 सेंटीमीटर है, और जो +-1 अगर आप उसको देखें स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन को, तो इसकी स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन जो 1 वैल्यू होगी वो 7 होगी. सो -7 जब करते हैं तो वो 171 हो जाता है, जब यू ऐड 7 it's 185. So the range of +-1 standard deviation in this case is 171 to 185 with the mean value of 178. So from the general observed जो हमारे पास फिनोमिना है उसके मुताबिक जो 68% जो लोग होंगे जिनकी हाइट हम मेजर कर रहे हैं, सो दैट 68% लोगों की हाइट जो है वो 171 to 185 सेंटीमीटर के दरमियान होगी. सो it is a generalization normally, लेकिन in most cases if we have a normal symmetrical distribution curve, so this is mostly true, and that what actually is observed in many cases. And 99.73% of the values and that lie between +-3 standard deviation from the mean, as you can see in the diagram. So so what is the use of this information? So what information we get from the normal distribution? Actually when we have a large population and we are analyzing some parameter, any parameter, it can be for example that as we discussed the blood pressure or whatever. So हमने उस डाटा से कोई इन्फॉर्मेशन लेनी होती है, बट बिकॉज अगर आप 10,000 लोगों का डाटा जो है आप कलेक्ट कर रहे हैं, देन उसको एज सच ग्राफिकल फॉर्म में उसको रिप्रेजेंट करना मोस्टली मुश्किल होता है अगर आप उसको सिंपली अगर आप उसको ड्रॉ करना शुरू हो जाए. सो इट इज़ अ गुड प्रैक्टिस, जब आपने उससे इन्फॉर्मेशन लेनी होती है तो आप क्या करते हैं, आप उसका हिस्टोग्राम जो है वो ड्रॉ करते हैं और फिर नॉर्मल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन कर्व आप उसकी ड्रॉ करते हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल वी हैव 10,000 सैम्पल्स. सो व्हेन वी ड्रॉ दिस, सो इससे जब आपके पास अगर नॉर्मल सिमेट्रिकल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन अगर आती है, सो देन हम उसमें अंदर से इंफॉर्मेशन कलेक्ट करते हैं कि जो मेजॉरिटी ऑफ द सैम्पल्स हैं या जो मेजॉरिटी ऑफ द पॉपुलेशन है दैट हैव this value or that parameter. So because mostly 70% जो है वो between 1 +-1 standard deviation के होता है, so it easy to calculate. So हम क्या देते हैं कि 70% जो population है that lies in this region और जो 95% है this region है. So हम categorize कर लेते हैं even to for 10,000 values or 10,000%. so आप उसको एक ग्राफ के अंदर शो कर सकते हैं और उसके अंदर से easily information जो है वो collect कर सकते हैं. and this is the main one of the main advantage of using this kind of distribution curve. So how we use this normal distribution curve to get our information? So we can get information by determining that how much of a specific value lie under a specific area under the normal distribution curve. For example, we can determine how many values lie from right of the data point. For example, as you can see in the diagram, so from a specific point up to on the right side, so from between a specific range we can determine that how many values lie above this point, or as you can see in the second diagram with that. So we can also see that how many values lie to left of that specific point. So आप कोई भी specific point है तो आप वहाँ से मेजर कर सकते हैं कि इतने परसेंट जो डाटा है वो इस पॉइंट से ज़्यादा है, या इतने परसेंट डाटा जो है वो इस पॉइंट से कम है उनकी वैल्यूज़। या आप जो नॉर्मल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन कर्व है उसमें ये डिटरमिन कर सकते हैं कि कितने परसेंट डाटा जो है वो लाइज इन द सेंटर और लाइज बिटवीन एनी टू पॉइंट्स, between in the center or between any 2 points. You can take any 2 points of your choice which you require, and you can calculate कि how many of the population or the sample lie in that area. So that you can calculate from this normal distribution curve. And similarly, if for example you want to know that, give a range that how many values, as you can see the last image, so you can see that how many values are outside of those data points. So for example, if you have a value of from 1 to 100 and you want to know that how many values are outside 10 and 90, so आप अगर ये जानना चाह रहे हैं कि कितनी वैल्यूज़ 10 से कम है और कितनी वैल्यूज़ 90 से ज़्यादा हैं, if you have data from 1 to 100 of any parameter, so you can also determine that from these normal distribution curve. So for your better understanding, ताकि आपको इसकी अच्छी समझ आए, so we will see an example in our next slide. So hopefully you will understand what I'm trying to explain. So this graph actually shows the height of female in US. So you can see that the graph with the minimum height is 5 feet and 3.5 inches and the maximum is 6 feet and 5 inches. So 99.7% of females lie in this range. And if you want to if you see from this graph that you can see that only 2.35% of females have height above 5 feet and 11 inches. Similarly, only 2.35% females have the height less than 5 feet and 5 inches. So around 95% of females living in US have a height between 5 feet 5 inches to 5 feet 11 inches. But if you want to know what is the height of majority of the women, so majority of the women are female living in the US, they have a height from 5 feet 6.5 inches to 5 feet 9.5 inches. So 68% of female living in US have a height in this range from 5 feet 6.5 inches to 5 feet 9.5 inches. So from this distribution curve you can also know that if you only want to know the height of female from who is like 5.5 inches to 5.6.5 inches, so you can determine that there are only 13.5%, and you can see that from 5.65 to 5.8 only there are 34% of females who have that height. And for example, if you want to know that how many females have height less than 5 feet and 6.5 inches, so you know there are 13.5 and 2.35, so you can add that and you know that 16% females living in US have height less than 5 feet and 6.5 inches. So by using the normal distribution curve, so we can get these different kind of information about a given population or about any given parameter. So that was about normal distribution, and so it is always desired that we plot our data in the form of histogram. So then we may, if the data is symmetrical, so we may apply some Gaussian distribution curve or normal distribution curve, and we can get the desired information. So whenever you have to plot data, it's always better to use the histogram, because they are the efficient way of describing our data, and even by naked eye you can see that how you can analyze the data actually and get the desired information. And if you are lucky and you have some very good data curve which is symmetrical, so you can draw a normal distribution curve and get information. And even if you don't have symmetrical data, still you can actually get the desired information from the histogram very easily and efficiently. So that's my suggestion, that when you are working in your lab or you are analyzing anything, so it's always better to use histogram.
A normal distribution is a special type of density curve that is bell-shaped. For this reason, the normal distribution is sometimes called the bell curve or the normal curve. The normal distribution describes the tendency for data to cluster around a central value. In fact, this central value is the population mean mu, which is always located in the middle of the curve. So for any normal distribution, we can say that some data points will fall below the mean, other data points will fall above the mean, but most of the data values are located near the mean. The normal distribution and its shape actually arises from many different variables found in nature, such as weight, height, volume, blood pressure, and many more. This is why the normal distribution is commonly studied. For example, exam scores are known to follow a normal distribution. Some people do great on exams, some people do poorly on exams, but a large majority of people score near the average or the mean. In this example, the average exam score is 50 because it is located in the middle of the curve.
That's all for today's lecture. Thank you for your patience and attention. And if you have any question about this lecture, so you are free to ask. So please let me know if you have any query or any confusion about this lecture. Okay, thank you, and Allah Hafiz.